We're snorting cap rates and shooting up cash flow here at Deal Junkies. Welcome back to Deal Junkies.
I'm Dane McKinney.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Is this our narcissist
McKinney.
conversation?
No, he was looking at me like I was supposed to say something.
Dane McKinney, Trevor Howard, Mike Nuss, and me back in the podcast.
Wow. Trevor lost about 9 inches.
He didn't have 9 inches to lose. Come on back with us, Trevor. What?
Okay, I feel like we need to start over.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm happy with this.
We're going forward with it?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds like a guy who just broke ground.
Okay. Deal. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yesterday.
So excited to talk about this.
Well, now I'm kind of embarrassed because I heard that nobody really does groundbreaking ceremonies anymore.
No, they do.
Unless you're the city here.
No,
Let's
just
say
if
this.
you're a big dog, you don't.
If you're a big dog.
You're not a big dog.
Okay,
we
well,
just
we're
learned.
not. Okay, we're not a big dog, but we just broke ground.
So
There's
little
nothing
guy.
to celebrate when you break ground. It's only internal.
There's a lot of work that goes into just getting
Yeah.
a project kicked
That's what I
off.
mean.
It
There's
took
a lot.
year. I can't tell you how much money, how much time it took us to get a shovel in the ground. It
There's
was
nothing externally worth celebrating, but everything you did to get there internally is.
That's why we didn't invite. Like we didn't even invite partners. We just had industry people come. There were lenders, insurance people, the architects. Like
Everyone's getting paid by the deal.
Yeah.
I will say you got a pile of dirt and you moved it from where it was onto the asphalt, and then you put the shovels in that, which seemed counterproductive to me. I'm going to be honest with you.
This is all Mark's doing. I got to tell you, like putting that hard hat on, it was black, by the way. I love the new Skyline stuff, but it was hot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being racist. I'm just saying the hat was hot.
Did it melt your bald head?
Like literally in like 5 minutes of wearing that thing, I was sweating profusely. And then I held the shovel for the pictures and I started getting blisters.
He asked
on
for
my hand.
gloves.
You're lying.
He did.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, you guys cannot entrust me to
Okay.
physical labor. But we're excited to announce that we have commenced on our 70-unit student housing project adjacent to OSU campus. It's going to be a beautiful 7-story building. And wow, Mike just fell asleep.
I just knocked.
You just landed
tried to
in
give
your mic.
myself a concussion with a microphone.
Don't knock your teeth out.
An
with the
undercut
mic.
to the chin.
So, okay.
So what
anyway.
goes into this?
I'm excited.
Tell us.
I'm celebrating a win. You guys aren't celebrating with me.
So let's
go
get some
ride your
deal.
jet
So
skis.
what's the
Shut up.
background of the deal? This is a lot you
Trevor and Dane
bought,
were
you
there.
own, you
Yeah,
scraped
tell
it
us
off
about
a
the
piece
deal.
of property.
Okay, so this is it's pretty cool because a few years back we talk about how we bought one of our best deals ever. It was a 100-unit complex right on campus. It was way under rented. They were doing 9-month leases.
Bought it in the midst of COVID when everyone was scared.
Yeah, they were 50% vacant. It was like this was a really good deal for us. And so we got in there, we raised the rents, filled it up.
Did a 13-leg exchange or something, right?
We did nine forward 1031s into it and 3 refis to get in. I think it had a couple
There was
reverses.
reverses,
I think
too.
the refis funded the reverses. So I call this Logan's magnum opus. But on this property,
So you refied some properties to pull equity out to hold cash you could give to a
Yeah.
facilitator to do
to go sell
reverses
later
and then
because we couldn't
later.
sell them in time to get
Yeah.
in.
And then did you pay prepayment penalties for that? Like take on some
Oh
short-term
yeah,
debt?
there were some. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
I learned Logan doesn't pay prepayment penalties.
He usually is able to talk us out of them, but that's not true because when COVID hit, he freaked out and he's like, "We got to get out of this loan and go into another one." And we paid a big prepayment on one of them. So sometimes we pay him. It's an insurance policy.
Nothing is ever absolute.
No, but what was cool about this is, in Paul Curley's words, a good deal gets better and better. And this deal just got better and better and better and better and better and better. Since we've owned it, as a matter of fact, when we closed it, we wanted to rehab it. The lender, Oregon State Credit Union, great lending partner of ours, they actually gave us a credit line on top of our loan to go do our rehab. So we were able to use bank money or credit union money to go start renovating the units. Then we started turning some of the 2-bedroom units into separate 1-bedroom units. So our goal was we were going to kind of double the unit count through separating units, which is very hard to do, by the way. We did a little bit of that, kind of got our proof of concept and didn't like it as much. And then we realized, hey, we've got this little commercial building that had 6 tenants in it with a small parking lot.
First off, you bought it for what, 15 and made it worth 30 or something?
Yeah, we doubled the value.
Cool.
We doubled the value of it in probably 24 months or less, 18 to 24 months. Good. So we did pretty good.
Wow.
We've recently found out that it's basically like 3 parcels. I don't know how actual. There's like a north section, a commercial building, and then a south section. We found out that just the land underneath one of our sections is worth as much as what we paid for the whole project for just the dirt. So this is a really, really, really good deal. This is a unicorn deal. I would call it a unicorn deal. And what's what?
Just one of those sections with apartments on it, or a commercial building?
Yeah.
It's worth 15 mil.
Very small.
Because you can take it so high.
So this is zoned. We're going 7 stories with it. So we had a commercial building. So there's 100 residential units and 6 commercial tenants there. We ended up vacating that building out, scraping it recently, and so we have a very small lot to go vertical with, right, kind of in the middle of the project. And so we're going up with a really cool. I think it's a really cool concept. A lot of students are having to share units and do quads and roommates and all the stuff. And so we're building studios. And so they'll have a small unit, but it'll be just their unit.
Do they have to share kitchens, or do they have kitchens?
They'll have their own kitchen. Yep. So it's a really cool project. They'll have a rooftop deck, with fun stuff up top to hang out.
What are you building? How many units?
70 units.
70 studios?
Yes.
Holy shit. You got ball sacks. Did that come out live?
Thank you, Mike.
Why do you say that? You don't think that's a good model?
No, I think your context of the marketplace matters, being near a university, but
we're doing it to compete with everybody around us, including ourselves.
Because different product.
Do a different product type. Yeah.
And
that's
who do you think's going to win? You or you?
Why do you believe that segment will do better?
I just think that it's just the way it mathed out. Like I think it went through several revisions as to where do we rent this by the bedroom, do we do multiple bedroom or whatever, and it penciled out to where the rents that we think that we can get just work better on studios. So it's called Stadium View Lofts, and it'll probably take 15 months, I think, is the timeline to build it. Skyline Builders is our building partner, so Mark is building it for us.
You're doing 10 studios per floor?
I think that's how it shakes out, yeah.
And the other good news on this was when we found out his dirt was worth a lot, we realized we had some dirt near campus, and we told
Logan
ourselves
says it's
it was
not
worth
close.
a lot.
It's not close enough. So when you're doing campus housing, apparently the institutional buyers they measure the value based on within tenth of a mile distance to the university.
Perfect.
It's 500 feet.
Even if it's worth half.
Measure it.
It's still great. So we have a covered land play where we own some storage on the other side of this, and potentially one day that'll be.
So we think it's worth $5 million.
Yeah, but what's the zoning? Does it have the same zoning?
Yeah, it's high-rise zoning.
Yeah.
So our plan was to do it
similar
ourselves, but then we were like, we bought it for 2. Maybe we'll sell it if we could get 5 to 8.
I would take
roll
14
that money. I would take 14
million.
Yeah.
Just
So what
personally.
did they appraise
That's
the
my
dirt
number.
at? So 70 units, they like 7.
It appraised for I think 2.2. We ended up contributing our dirt into the partnership for about I think it was 2.7 because of our entitlement costs.
How much is that?
We spent I think we spent $650
Per unit?
on $650,000 on soft costs per unit.
35. No, or 39. Sorry.
39 what?
He was saying how much per unit.
Oh,
it's
per unit.
39,000. Yeah. 38.5.
Is he correct?
you.
That's not
do that.
right. $650K on
70 units.
70
It'd be
units.
2.7.
Oh, I thought you were saying 2.7.
Oh, you're talking about dirt. You're still
Yeah,
talking
he was
about dirt.
asking what
I
the-
thought you were
Yeah, I was
talking about
talking about
entitlements.
dirt.
What is it? 30.
2.7 is 39K a door.
That's good
Is it?
Thank you.
Like a good valuation or a good?
if you're a seller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that makes sense. Like how much do these studios cost to build per studio?
I don't have all that information.
You guys are building
They
it
cost-
for 15 mil, right? Total?
Yeah,
All-in
all
cost?
in they'll be at like 15, but that's not
And
the
then it's
hard
worth 20.
costs. The hard costs are like 11.8.
Yeah.
200K
I think you were at
total.
15 all in and you had a value of like 20 mil on the back end or something.
I don't have all those details.
Well, this
I
is
just
your
hold the-
project that
I
you're
just
trying
hold,
to
I
celebrate.
just hold the shovel, and I'm celebrating that I got to hold a shovel and wear
Because it's not
a
about
black
the
card.
money.
Gabe just loves
motherfucker.
real
It's
I don't even
about
own
the-
part of this project, and I know more about it.
Thank you.
It's because you care about things Gabe doesn't care about.
That's true.
It's because he was asked to invest in it. And
Oh, I looked at it.
he
yeah.
looked at it and said, maybe I will.
Well, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, way to go.
You're a
Gabe.
big time developer.
Whoa.
big dog.
I don't even know what the unit,
So
what
you
the unit
spent
mix is, and I'm a developer.
You spent $600K to get the entitlement on the lot,
Yeah.
and then you scraped the building down.
Scrape the building.
How much did it cost to demo a commercial building?
How much did it cost to demo the commercial building, Dane?
Cost about $50,000.
Oh, that's all.
50,000,
How big
Dane
was
says.
it? Is it a 50 by 100 lot, like a 5K lot?
No, the lot's
Bigger
like
than that.
the lot's like 9,000 square feet.
Oh, do you have a 50% building coverage ratio?
No, it's 100%.
Dude, they're
FAR.
taking it to like the it's
FAR,
crazy.
yeah. The like you're gonna like I think the windows are gonna meld together on the neighboring property. they're gonna have windows that just
Can't
touch.
be a 9K lot then, because then you'd be having huge studios. It'd be big fucking studios.
No, because it has internal corridors.
Yeah, but even at a 70, like an 80% programming level and 9K, so that'd be 700 square foot studios.
Yeah. He's correct.
Yeah.
These are
wait.
this is like a 5K
there's,
lot, maybe 7K lot.
No, there's the first floor isn't all studios. The first floor has common
Lounge.
area. Yeah. Like a much larger common area, I believe. And
Yeah.
something
big
else too.
Big lobby.
Yeah. So you're at like, I think you're at 12 studios on the floors above. And so what is that? 12 on 900 with internal. It's like
62, 72 times 0.8, 56 divided by 70.
Well, you're saying 9,000
Yeah,
square feet per floor times 80% of that. So
72.
7,200 divided by 12. That would put you at 600 per unit. That's still too
It's
big.
still big, yeah.
Gabe, I think your
It's like a
project doesn't
7K
work.
square foot lot. No,
Your project makes no sense
Okay,
to us
the
right
lot's
here.
just smaller.
I got to
than
go
9K.
make a call and tell them to not break ground on this property.
But so, dude, that's a lot per dirt though. Like 39K per unit.
Well, we are adjacent to the school.
What
We
what are the studios going to rent for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He brought this deal you want to talk about.
I didn't bring a deal. I
What
just
are the
told you we
studios
had.
gonna rent
I just
for,
told you we
Trevor?
had a groundbreaking.
Dude, I
ceremony.
don't know because I don't own any of that asset type.
I've looked
and
at
I
all
haven't
those
looked
numbers
at
at
it.
some point. We've been working on this.
But
for
I mean,
years.
you got a loan for it, right?
Yeah.
You're breaking ground.
Yeah, I signed on a big loan.
appraisals
Yeah,
have been done and loans have been funded.
it all works.
I went through there.
He looks at me. It all works.
Didn't you hear Dane say that the whole system is designed to help us succeed?
Yes.
I can't remember the details, but I have
at the
the
top of that pyramid that makes it all work, and you can just shovel some fucking dirt off a sidewalk. Sorry, I don't know
guys
why
are-
I'm laughing at this.
They're making fun of me now.
Yeah. I'm proud
Instead
of you.
of mine.
I am, dude. That's that.
Don't be proud of me. I'm proud
More
of our
importantly,
team.
to break ground on a 7-story building in this environment,
Yeah,
I love it.
it's baller. I love
Just
it.
breaking ground in this environment.
What
It's
interest rate did you get?
I don't know all that stuff.
Why does it matter?
I looked at Logan yesterday at signing, and I'm like, Logan, just so you know, I don't read any of
Did
this.
you get a
I only sign after you sign. And he's like, oh yeah. I mean, he basically writes the loan doc, so I don't have to worry about it.
Is it a construction to perm loan or is this a permanent loan? Or I mean, is this
Do
a
you know?
bridge loan? A construction bridge
I'm
loan?
pretty
We
sure
should
they
have
did.
Logan on to talk about this
We
project.
should. Let's get Logan back on. I
think you did construction to perm on it.
Logan did everything.
I think
Logan-
you got a 5.75 rate too.
He got a really good loan.
Yeah, that's all true.
All right. Anyway, since Gabe knows no more about this deal, Mike.
I didn't say I wanted to talk about the deal.
You
I just
just
wanted to
wanted to
celebrate. I wanted to have
Well,
a
we were
celebration.
asking you what you were celebrating. You knew nothing about it.
That's why I'm celebrating. If I knew everything about it, I wouldn't celebrate. I'd be like, oh, this is scary. That's what I was told. I'm too dumb to be scared. But Mike said it. We got big balls.
Yeah.
Well, I do
Well,
anyway. Logan has big brains.
This is why you have team members, so they know what's going on the project.
I've looked at it all.
Yeah,
It looks
but this
good.
is why team members have a gut at the top, making gut decisions.
Yeah, what the crazy thing is, Gabe has looked at enough deals where I can go spend 2 hours looking at it, and we can be within a very close threshold of how the deal operates and what you do with it. It's pretty crazy. But you wanted to talk about something.
The environment we're in. Like you said, it's crazy we're building something. What's the environment we're in, Mike? Tell us more about that.
Never-ending down cycle.
The Strait of Hormuz.
I thought that all ended and the war ended.
Well, it did until Israel blew it up with troops in Lebanon. That was the last I saw. Iran is backing out, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I was just being jokeful about that. We can talk about Kevin Warsh and the first Fed meeting since Kevin Warsh.
No forward guidance.
I'm really a fan of what's happened so far. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this mofo starts buying some mortgage-backed securities. I would be really excited for that. I think the world would be a better place if he bought some mortgage-backed securities, as much as it stresses me to say that, just for a period of time.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
So what's the update? I don't know anything about this.
So the update is nothing has changed. Like from a policy decision standpoint, since about November, December of last year, it's just status quo. But what Warsh has done is he's created 5 committees. So 5 committees to look into what's our communication process, what is our framework around inflation. So he's setting the precedent to change the way the Fed communicates and potentially change how they operate their framework to then complete their mandates. But from a structural standpoint, nothing changed at all. And in fact,
so your news is there's no news.
Well, we have a new board president, and he's going to switch it up, like in terms of like the dot plot. And I think that what I'm picking up is he's saying that the Fed has given too much information to the market, and the market is, instead of playing off of their decisions, they're playing off of all of their interviews and all of that.
And that's what
and so rather than doing that, he's telling them, shut up. We're not going to tell anybody anything. And then we're just going to make decisions as we make decisions.
So, for example, he did not give a personal economic outlook, which was historical. The chairman did not give an opinion on market conditions.
And when they released their minutes, it used to be this big, long thing. And if you read how it's redlined, almost all of it is just crossed out. Mm-hmm. They basically just said, like, it's like it's like 100 and something words. It's not very long at all.
Yeah, he did say that. So, it was unanimous decision to keep rates the same. He did say, or there was a statement that half of the committee members do believe that there will be a Fed rate increase this year.
Oh, really?
He did say that.
Is that already priced in right now then? Or
yeah.
Okay,
essentially,
so rates wouldn't change, really?
The bond market did nothing last week. Essentially, we've been above 4.5 for a while since we started bombing Iran, and we came down it for a period of time, went back above 4.5. But right before the meeting this week, we went down into the 4.4s, and we've stayed there. So we're like 4.45 today. So the bond market has priced it in. The bond market doesn't seem to think that there's any concern here. More like what I kind of think of is his past stance has been we want less of a balance sheet. And he's mentioned where, with AI and you can have lower interest rates but reduce the balance sheet. So there's a potential mechanism there. But there were some statements around policy right now. The interest rate policy is fine for the overall economy but restrictive to real estate. And so that was my statement, my thought process of, well, they haven't changed their bond buying mechanism. So their balance sheet standpoint of November, December last year, one of those meetings, they decided to no longer reduce the balance sheet. So if any of their debt gets paid off, they reinvest that payoff into more debt. And now if we're trying to take all these little cookie crumbles to try and put together a thought process, my thought process would be, well, he did mention continuing to buying short-term treasury bills. So treasury bills are short-term debt. So that's your 1 year, your 2 year T-bills. So we're going to invest in short-term debt to keep our short-term debt costs low. Well, they can do that same thought process of as debt gets matured and paid off, we can now start buying a little bit of mortgage-backed securities. I think the Fed doesn't want to own mortgage-backed securities.
Who buys most of them right now? Other countries or?
Just the secondary market in general. So those are your pension funds. That's your just big piles of capital. But the Fed has been reducing. That's what they are selling, or they're letting mature as their mortgage-backed securities. And then they're not buying more mortgage-backed securities. They're buying American debt. But if you believe policy is restrictive to housing but okay for the greater economy, and you are reluctant to lower interest rates, and your biggest concern is inflation, which says we should increase interest rates, but you're really concerned of we're losing construction jobs, where are we from a future supply of housing standpoint? Well, the easy solution is buy mortgage-backed securities. And you buy mortgage-backed securities, you reduce the mortgage spread, you lower interest rates, not from a 10-year yield standpoint, but from a mortgage spread standpoint. And now you can get the housing market flowing a little bit better like the rest of the economy.
So wouldn't that be increasing their balance sheet if they're buying MBS?
Well, you can do it in the same. So right now they're not running it off because they own so much debt every month. They're getting hundreds of millions of dollars of debt paid off. So they can choose to just destroy that debt and reduce the amount of money in the economy, or they can reinvest it. So now they're reinvesting it into American debt, U.S. Treasuries. They can choose to not do U.S. Treasuries, but go back into the mortgage-backed securities.
So going back to your concept of the power drill versus the IKEA tool.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it sounds like they're being more dovish on the power tool side of things, but on interest rates, they might, which is the IKEA tool, they might crank us a little bit. So like they may not lower rates, but using what their real power is, they're not letting debt run off their books, and now they may be recycling and buying back. And if they buy, you're saying rather than buying T-bills, they buy MBS, that shifts the money back into real estate to free us up.
Would that lower spreads on, because you have more buyers, so then you have lower rates?
So the thought process is if, okay, say the demand for the 10-year bond has kind of stabled off. We as a Fed, the central bank, doesn't need to keep demand in the 10-year bond because other countries, other pension funds are buying it. So that means, well, we can put our money into another asset to lower the yield because you're increasing the value, right? You're bringing demand in, increasing the value, lowering the yield. So now they can go buy mortgage-backed securities, which then lowers spreads. And so then you can bring, as long as the 10-year doesn't go up, but again, they're not investing in the 10-year right now. They're investing in the 1-year and the 2-year. So they're investing in the short end of the curve. So buying mortgage-backed securities is kind of a way of investing. It's a different asset, and it strategically targets the housing market, and it's a more long-term investment.
Where do you think residential and commercial rates need to be at to bring the market back to more of an equilibrium?
3%. I'd feel good about that.
What needs to be 3%?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, in the commercial world, to me, where's residential today? 6.5?
No, it's like 6.75.
Because I'm closing a loan this week on a commercial loan that's like 5.8 with a credit union. So we're already seeing in the commercial, which is kind of interesting because there was a long period of time where residential rates were lower than commercial rates, but right now it's flip-flop. So we're almost a full point below residential.
Yeah, because again, you got to think about how does the secondary market look. I'm looking at the 5-year yield.
Because it terms out, it's not 30-year money. That's what you're getting at.
Right. So Chase is pricing based off the 5-year yield, so 2 points above, so 6.2. Like our apartment deal will be a 6.2.
Don't they all price off FHLB?
Not ours.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're seeing spreads sub 150.
Yeah. So again, go to the secondary market. So in the commercial world, it tanked a lot more than the residential world. And the residential world was a 6-month blip, and then it's leveled off. So from the secondary market, there's a lot more risk in the residential world right now, even though it has a shelter component to it, than there is in the commercial world.
Explain.
Meaning that those assets, the values have come down significantly, and then the new pricing of those assets combined with the down payment, the level of loan from an LTV, from a DSC,
a lot less risk.
A lot less risk. So if you're a macro money person, you're like, well, we can invest in commercial debt or you can invest in residential debt.
Yeah. That's a good point because this project I'm doing, we had it appraised. We were thinking it was worth probably close to 8, and I think 2 years ago we got it appraised at 7.5, and on this appraisal for a refi, it came in at 6.5. Oh, and so then they're giving, whatever they're given for leverage, 70-75% of that, but they're in a position now where their loan that they're lending on is at the bottom. Yeah. And they're lending off of a number that's already, 20% lower than where we were.
Rough math on that. So when at $8 million, they'd loan 5.6 on it. at the valuation now, they'll loan like $4 million on it. Compare that to the residential world. So you've gone down $1.6 million, like 33%. In the residential world, you've gone from, we went to loaning $400,000 to $380,000.
Yeah.
Like that risk premium is really high relative to recent values.
Interesting. And the leverage they give you on residential is higher on some products.
Yeah. And it's not covered by income.
So going back to where do you think equilibrium is? Like some people argue that 6.5, 6.75 is a pretty good rate historically, but not on today's values. So does this need to be in the fives? You just have to have a 5 handle, 5.5. Like what's the number?
So I'm going to write something for LinkedIn because when I did the last Investor Lab market update, it is crazy. If you look at the 10-year yield at 4.5% or under. So the period of time and the all-time window of the 10-year yield, when was it under 4.5%?
During COVID?
Post all
2006 to 2022.
The whole time?
The whole time. The entire period from 2006, 2007 to 2022, we were under 4.5. So if you look at that as a bar graph, so right now on the far right, we're at 4.55, and you've got these bars way up high. If you take that dotted line for 4.5 across the entire time schedule, there's this little white block of time from 2006 to 2022 where the yields were under 4.5%.
Which was almost considered like the free money era.
Correct. And so you have an entire generation of investors that do not know what true value add is, meaning anyone who would have lost money on a flip or anyone who would have lost money on a rental.
The market saved them.
The market saved them. And so now think about that, what that does to values, because how much demand that the market should have eaten up did not get eaten up. That remained in the marketplace, that became effective purchasing power, that became effective borrowers, that just added to this fuel of fire. And so now you no longer have that market working for you. And if we start then talking about the Strait of Hormuz, we're now 100 plus days in. Where's the tipping point that inflation, because right now we're affecting August, September, and October's inflation significantly. But there's also a tipping point that is probably sometime in June where now we run out of reserves.
Right.
Because we're down to like 80 days of reserves left.
Oh, I think Trump said the other day we were 4 weeks away.
Yes. And that is why there's so much pressure right now to make a deal. So now let's go back to the three main asset classes: gold, oil, American debt, U.S. Treasuries. All of them are traded in cash. All of them are being used in various ways right now to prep for oil, the change of global trade and how important the value of the dollar is into that, where we used to store money in a time of crisis in American debt, but right now other countries are selling American debt so they can get dollars, so they can either buy oil or gold, and now money's being moved from gold and oil and avoiding treasuries. And so these three main pillars are acting differently than they used to act. And a part of that is because, well, what's the policy around who is the debt, the guarantor to the debt part?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
And the U.S. just got downgraded a couple of weeks ago, right? So
yeah,
I don't remember if that was the first time ever, but who does
our
that?
credit rating with Moody's. Yeah.
And Moody's lowered us down to A- or what I don't know what the ratings are, but
so when we talk about debt yields and then those debt yields being the foundation, American debt yields being the foundation to other debt types, the supply of oil, the cost of oil, the peace treaties, all this stuff ultimately has an effect on the yield, the bond yields.
So do you believe that, I always talk about Paul. Gosh, I miss Paul. He always just said that it's all rigged, system's rigged, and all you got to do is watch energy and the money. You got to look at the cost of money. You got to look at the cost of energy. And I started watching this a couple of years ago, and how every day you can just look at the 10-year yield and look at oil per barrel almost, and it goes hand in hand. They rarely will go opposite one another. They move in tandem. Mm-hmm. And so really oil, like you're talking about, I've never heard it explained that way, but I like that. The oil, the gold, and the U.S. debt, so the treasuries. So these are the pillars, and then you look at the allocation of how the money flows between those three.
Yeah.
And this this isn't so much just Main Street investors moving this money around. This is like countries,
Huge piles of money.
like
Correct.
trillions of dollars.
Are they moving money from U.S. debt to gold?
So
some of them are.
Yeah. So there's stacks of wealth like pension companies and just money that just needs to be stored. But then you have countries that need to operate and they need to buy oil. They need to store capital. And they need to make an income. And so there's this, well, shit, we don't have enough dollars to buy the oil that we need. So now we need to go sell some debt, or we need to sell some gold, or our P&L was good this month, we need to store some capital, gold looks cheap, let's store it here, or we've been storing money in gold and gold's fucking doubled in value.
Let's get off of some of that
gold. Yeah. And so the dynamics between those are different. But to your point, oil and debt being combined is, well, as the price of oil increases, inflation increases. And if inflation increases, well, guess what? You have to have higher debt yields to offset the cheaper dollars you're paying that debt off with. And so they work in conjunction because of that aspect. So it's the inflation adjusted return. And so going back to Kevin Warsh, it really seems like their focus is going to be on inflation. And it really sounds like the committee is kind of 50-50. Do we need to increase?
Well, I mean, they're saying employment is fine. Like wage growth is fine, employment is fine. When they look at the unemployment rate and everything, they seem to feel that the labor force is steady, but inflation is still higher than where they want it to be.
Yeah.
So wouldn't inflation now, like the one comment he made is
Price control.
We will get price controls under control.
Yeah.
And that's their job ultimately.
But to me, what he's saying is what you first alluded to is essentially a transitory mindset, which is tariff inflation is not is transitory. It's a one-time effect. This war thing is a short-term time. We don't need to be concerned about inflation. But if your comments are we're focusing on price controls, it really tells me you're concerned about inflation. And if you're concerned about inflation, the tool that you have is to increase interest rates or reduce the balance sheet. But our balance sheet is so high that those two options are now going to kill the one market that we've sacrificed for the past 5 years. And at some point, real estate can no longer become the sacrificial lamb. And so some type of policy change needs to happen. And that's where these 5 committees step into, well, how do we communicate to the market? How do we create our mandates? How do we change our framework?
When you look at the list of things that are inflating versus deflating, in the deflation category, like real estate and automobiles are kind of like leading the charge on bringing inflation down. Like those have been the 2 industries that got hit.
It's the disinflationary aspect of it, yeah.
But then you look at everything that oil is involved in. So the energy inflation is very high. It's up like 35% or whatever. And then you look at like, okay, well, that feeds into transportation and food and everything. All of these other things. And all of those things are inflationary. So we bring oil back down. Based on my conversation with ChatGPT yesterday, it said if we get oil down to like 70 a barrel, which it thinks we'll do this
which
year.
I think we just did, didn't we?
We got to 75,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
But you get back to 70, if you can hold steady at 70, then gas comes to a certain point. All those other things should start to drop down. The question is like to Warsh's point, like real estate has been the sacrificial lamb. Like that has been one of the things that they do is the whole they changed it from what an average mortgage payment is, and then they went to like if this home was rented.
Yeah.
They adjusted it based on, well, we don't care about that the mortgage would be $3,000. If you rented the house, it'd only be $2,000. Well, I think that's a broken metric.
I love Paul and the cabal because it's true. It's just bankers, and we can see it through time. I watched this really interesting video where kind of what boiled out of the Epstein files was that, I've used this image before in Investor Lab, which is politicians are not in control. And the image, AI image, which is the politician with a puppet string ahead of him.
Yeah.
Well, this video I watched is, there's actually 2 layers above our politicians. There's the Epstein layer, and then there's the people above Epstein with all the money. But you can see that. I mean, it goes back to the late 1700s, and every war has been funded by both sides, and every political party is funded by both sides. It is not, our politicians are not in control. Money is in control. I don't know where it's going with that.
It's the golden rule.
Money talks.
He who has the gold makes the rules.
It's not even money's in control. It's the people with the biggest stacks of capital are in control.
Is there a difference?
Well, and that's it's no coincidence that there's a $300 billion restore fund coming out of the settlement agreement.
Oh,
I mean, that's just,
they're going to force him to buy some of our treasuries with it, though, right?
Can we talk about Deal?
Trevor woke back up.
Oh, Trevor, hi.
What deal do you want?
I didn't realize
How
you
was
were
your
here.
nap?
I wanted to see how your syndication was going because you started doing your webinars and stuff. How did that go?
Yeah, good. Well, the webinars didn't go as well as I wanted. Just
Like in terms of turnout?
technology and just prep and when are we gonna have the date and what time and being ready, like just all that. But no, the syndication's going well. I did get some response from Jay, so I'm talking to him about a preferred equity fund, hopefully.
Oh, because he was raising that capital for it.
Yeah, but I'm excited about it. I think it's real well. We're creating 2 classes, so 200K investment higher or 200K or more gets a higher pref. But it's good. We had the appraisal out there. There was two vacant units when we bought it. One has been renovated and rented at the highest rent achieved, and then the other one is half rent.
Yeah, the
renovated.
deal's all good and everything. It's just like raising the capital, right? Is the part right now. How
So we need to
far have
raise
you
capital.
got? Have you got any committed yet, or what's the total?
I've got a 1031 exchange, and so we're setting up for a 1031 exchange. I'll talk to him next week. That would be like a third of the capital stack, and then we have like another 25%. So we're about halfway there from if the exchange portion works out.
How long do you have to close this thing?
About 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a tight timeline or good?
I think it's tight, but we'll be able to make it happen. Like
Yeah.
the banking side of it's fine, and so now it's just getting all the capital together. And we need it's like 1.7 to close or something like that.
Oh, so you only need like 800 more or so.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's easy. I have a question for you. When you're talking about your pie of things that you do and you want to have, like you talk about how syndication is kind of boring, but you like doing some of these other small infill and cottage clusters and things like that. How do you decide what your next deal is going to be? Like, do you do it based on like, I'm just not excited to do another one of these, or do you have like a percentage of, I like to have 2 of these going and I like to have 5 of those going, like so that you know that you have active income and money coming.
Yeah,
in
I
a
don't make
couple
those
months?
decisions. The world makes those decisions for me.
So you're pivoting Pete, according to Leica. Like you're just going to roll with it, and if the world tells you syndication, you're going to go syndication, and if the opportunities pop up
No,
elsewhere.
I think the market shows you where the opportunity is, and then our job is to recognize when we are in alignment or not in alignment with those opportunities.
He's macro Mike.
But Paul thought every deal that came to him,
So I'll give you
he
some
was supposed
stats.
to do it because
So-
the world brought him a deal, so he was supposed to do it.
but Paul is one of a kind.
That's exactly what I'm speaking to, right? So we have an acquisitions department. Like I pay someone a good amount of money to always be finding deals and always sending me deals and always writing offers. And that goes in cycles.
Do you sign your offers or does your acquisitions guy sign
No,
them?
I sign it. So he's an agent. So he writes it as a buyer's agent, and I sign
Gotcha.
everything. Right. So you have that one aspect of it, which is just the acquisitions, the ebb and flows of acquisitions. Then you have the other aspect is, the ebbs and flows of selling properties. Right. So that's kind of the both ends of it. And then in the middle is, here's this commercial deal. Here's that apartment deal. And you're trying to just, like I mentioned, liquidity. You're just trying to line up liquidity. You're just trying to keep your process in the world. So you do pick and choose. But again, your acquisitions department is bringing you opportunities, and then you need to see how those opportunities fit into everything that you have. But at the same time, when those opportunities are coming in, you're analyzing them based on the information that you have today, while you have projects going on from past market conditions, current market conditions, future market conditions. So for example, the easiest way to break this down. So as an acquisitions from a flipping company last year, I sold 13 properties. 4 of them were losers, 7 of them were winners, 2 of them are not done because I sold a house and still have a lot. My P&L from those 4 losers took the entire company red, and not a small red, a good size red, because those 4 losers were so fucking bad that they outbled 7 winners, where winning today is not winning yesterday, meaning the wins today are significantly smaller than the wins in the past history. Well, I'm living through that in real life, but we have no control over time. I have no control over 3 sale fails on one asset. And so as these are sale failing and then these opportunities are coming in, you're trying to then just balance your liquidity gain from one to the other. And what's resulted from it is I no longer do, so we look at those four projects. I no longer do huge renovations. Just out of my, unless it's a huge renovation for something that I will get all the cash back and I can hold, so it has an infinite return component to it, I'm no longer doing short-term huge renovations. There's just too much risk. It uses too much capital. It's too much of a distraction for what I have going on here. So that's a lesson learned. That also goes inside with I'm no longer doing historic properties. I love them. That's my heart and soul. I created an identity off of that. A huge portion of my portfolio looks like that, but it no longer fits into where I'm going. So those are off the plate. What I do have, I have 11 cottage cluster projects going right now, and we just got another one in escrow. And I'm really excited about all those because we're buying them at a land basis that allows me to buy them as a development company, entitle them, and then at the entitlement, guess what? There's equity in there in a sell to a partnership. So I have multiple exit strategies, and now I can bring a fully entitled project, significant risk removed, to new partnerships and new capital stacks. What I believe is going into really good market conditions is new construction, especially for what we've redesigned and what we're bringing to the market. And so as I'm going through this, loser here, loser there, and you're working on these 4 projects that are huge drag momentum, you're looking at these new opportunities and going, where there's a quick flip. Let me get that quick flip. Let me get that quick flip. And so now where are we going? Well, I just sold a flip. I've got a flip on the market that's pending. I have a very identical flip right down the street that I'm going to buy. And so it's just this juggling of just essentially debt and cash flow and profit and just running that company together with the whole goal of what am I trying to do? Find really good assets I can hold long term.
So your bottleneck is more liquidity than it is bandwidth, you would say?
It's both. It's no. What we're talking about is how do you match your liquidity to your bandwidth? And then the other aspect of is your liquidity is current resources, but it's also a reflection of past resources and then what you believe your future resources can be, if that makes sense, right? Because I have my current debt load. A lot of that's determined by past decisions that I made, but I'm also creating a lot of equity that can bring in different types of debt load or different. And so, it's an evolution process, and you're just trying to find the right mix. Everything is that pendulum, right? And the pendulum for me is I'm just like you. I want to have fun in what I do, and I don't get fun building a rental portfolio. Does not excite me.
Trevor's shaking his head. He wants it to excite you.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Why doesn't it? And you already told us this, but it just doesn't excite you because the paydays are too far out, or because it's just boring to own it?
There's certain aspects that excite me about it, but it doesn't excite me to own it. If that makes sense? I will visit a portfolio property 2 to 6 times in the life of the ownership of that. Whereas a construction project, multiple site visits.
So you just like to see it more. You should just go look at your rental portfolio more.
You should just walk other people's properties. And then
I do that. I take my dog for a walk and we go point.
That's a nice old house.
And Max tries to go inside. He's like, Dad, we got to go in. Why won't you let me in the door? I want to go in the door.
Max likes historic renovations.
He does.
Yeah, I don't get excited. I think for me, it's more the scale. Like, I don't care if it's old or it's new because we're just buying boring apartments anyway. But like when we're breaking ground on this new project, like, I don't know, the picture of it looks pretty sexy. Like it feels fun.
I say this a lot where you're just detached from, like, you're talking about $2 million 20 years from now. Like, that's not real.
Yeah, we bought properties. Trevor and I were talking about this yesterday. I was like, we bought properties that 10 years ago, if I would have looked at that, I would have been like, oh my gosh, that's the craziest thing we ever bought. Now we buy it and like, I forgot we bought it. It's like, okay, well, it runs, it's rented, we're not doing anything, we're going to hang on to it forever. It's boring, Or that's what Paul taught me, was that's where you make your money, in the boring.
We should buy an art gallery. I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
An art gallery.
Yeah, well, Paul loved art too.
Hey, I'll duct tape a banana to the wall and we'll try to sell it for $6 million.
Is that real?
Yeah, some crypto guy bought it at auction and he walked up and ripped it off the wall and ate it.
That dude's harvesting losses.
That was a...
He's eating his losses.
That was a media play.
Yeah.
But I can duct tape a banana to the wall.
He could have bought it for $1 million and it would have had the same effect, I feel like.
No, somebody bid him up.
Someone bid. Really good banana.
And he paid $6 million. Somebody was at 5.9 before he went there.
Insane.
Wow. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Deal Junkies, you want to book a call? Mike, do you want to take one of these calls?
Sure.
Okay. Mike wants to talk to you. DealJunkiesPodcast.com. Tell him you want to talk to Mike. Mike wants to talk to you about the Strait of Hormuz.
But do they want to talk to me?
They do want to talk to you.
Hormuz.
You're the most famous guy on this podcast.
That is true.
The biggest cusser.
All right. Deal Junkies, hey, we love you guys. Please share us with someone you love, and we'll see you next time.